What's up, people? Thank you for watching the live. Just wrapped up the live show. Had a great time with Gen X Jacob and a bunch of Lisas. And Gerda was there, and MS, and it goes on and on and on. And it was just had a great time. So, today's video is about what are you doing today to be remembered tomorrow? And do you care? A lot of people might not care. What I mean is, who's going to come to your funeral? Are your kids? Do you have kids? I don't. So my kids won't be there. Friends? You know, I find this very interesting. The word friend is very difficult because we've all had tons of friends growing up, but life was easier. It was just different. Now, like I said, I have work associates, I have work friends, but people that just hang out the way it used to, I don't know if life's the same anymore. I really don't know. But anyways, what are you doing today to be remembered after you go tomorrow or whatever? I'm hoping whoever's alive after me, my nieces, my nephew, I'm hoping for at least 3 people to be at my funeral. I do have a plan to be, because I'm single, my plan is to be cremated and put in the grave with my mom and dad. The ex-wife thing didn't work out, obviously. I won't be buried with her. Other than that, don't mean to make this a gruesome, low video or gloomy video. I'm just wondering, who are you helping today? Now, I do help a lot of people, but even that, I go out of my way. I help people. I help the little guy here and there, and I make my donations, and I do what I want. But still, have you ever thought of this? All those people you helped, are they going to show up at your funeral? Probably not. It's always probably the close-knit group of people that remember you. Again, I don't know. I don't have, that I'm aware of, too many younger friends that as I get older, probably my fault. I don't get out enough. I don't do what I got to get done. I'm so caught up in YouTube and everything else. And I don't know who's going to show up at my funeral. Now, I was shocked, but my mother wanted it this way. Before my mother passed, everybody had a big funeral, this and that. But it wasn't until my mother and her sisters, none of them, if I can remember, had a funeral. It was just they buried, that's it. Nobody got together. Everybody was spread all over the place. Is that the wave of the future? I don't know. So one of my aunts, which is one of her sisters, she had 3 sisters, my mom, and she was in Florida. My mother wasn't doing so good. We weren't about to go and see what was going on. I don't know whatever happened to her. I'm assuming they were buried. I don't know. My aunt, who lived in Stoneham, we brought my mom to go see her for the last time. It was kind of weird, touching. She was in a nursing home. And it was weird because she seemed like she was okay. But then halfway through the talk, I remember she looked up at my mother and said, "Oh, it's Arlene," which is my mother's name. "You're here. It's you." And I was like, wow, we just spent an hour talking to this woman. She didn't know who the heck we were. And I already could see, which did come to terms, my mom went through the same thing. And it was touching, sad. It really wakes you up to say, who's going to be there for us? Who's going to be standing over the grave? Is there going to be anybody to stand over the grave? Who loves you enough? And what I mean by all this is whether you can put it together or not, or whether you care, you might be one of these people that says, you die, the lights go out, somehow, some way they get you in the dirt and that's it. Life goes on without you. That might be true. But I remember, so I don't know what happened to my aunts or my uncles. My mom didn't have a funeral. She did not want one. Had a mass. My ex-wife knew her. One of my cousins came. A ton of people that, I'm not going to say a ton of people. There was a group of people that I don't remember who they were. I don't think really anybody from the family that I really knew made their way. It was quick, it was deliberate, it was just, that's the way she wanted it, and that's that. It wasn't a good time. The funeral, nobody but me and my sister. Her kids, which it should be. And all they did, I expected something different. I expected them to dig up the ground, have it ready, put the canister that she was cremated in, put it in the ground. They didn't even do that, which was kind of weird. Because they looked at me and said, that's it. You say your goodbyes, you do whatever, and we're going to put it in later. And I said, I'm a skeptic. How do I know it's really going in? That's just me. I don't know. But I guess you have to trust in a way that it's really there. But it was quick. There was no one there. No funeral procession, no cars, no nothing. It was the cheapest of the cheap. That's what my mom wanted, and I agree with it. That's the way it should have been for her. My sister will probably have her family, her little family that she has, her kids, or if her husband's around. Whoever goes first, I'll be there. Me, if I'm the youngest, if no one else is around, then I guess all I'll have to rely on, if they even show up, is my nieces and nephew. Someone's got to find me. Someone's got to bury me. But I guess it's whether you get to, after you die, watch everything happening. I guess you have no control over it. That's going to be interesting. If you really do get to be that ghost in the side of the corner and watch people going through your stuff. And wow, it's interesting. And I know there's a whole dynamic set of different rules that aren't very earthly, and things that matter on earth and in life being human are so different when you get to the spirit world, because I believe there is a spirit world. But it'll be interesting, whatever happens. Because I did have one niece say, yeah, after you go, we'll go through every single thing in your house once. What else could you ask for? But I guess the true test will be, I have a handwritten will of where I would like things to go. Whether that holds up or not, I don't know. But if I get to be, which I think I will, into my 60s, probably to 70, I would probably pick one of the girls. unless the boy shows me that he's even interested to be one of the girls, and just ask them, do a trust or whatever, do you want to take care of things and get things ready? I guess you get things ready for, okay, end of life or whatever's going to happen when it happens. You're the person. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't hate them if they both said, if all three of them said, I'm just too busy, I don't want to be part of that. You throw your hands up and you go, wow, okay. So then you're totally on your own. Which changes dynamics a lot, but it's something that you got to think about. In the year 2025, not 25, 2025, it's something to think about. And I guess the biggest realization is not only does nobody want my stuff, which I made great videos about and probably be more and this and that, but you yourself, I've realized you have to live for yourself for today and tomorrow and whenever. You're living your life. You cannot live for someone else's life. You have to live your own life. Meaning, whether it's my Hot Wheels collection or my guitar on the wall, or if I had $1,000 pair of sneakers or something, I mean, whatever it is that means something to me, it's for me. I don't expect, you can't have any thought about someone else should like it. I heard something that in 2 or 3 generations, like, God forbid, I was to die tomorrow, would my niece's kids even remember me? Would they even put a picture of me up? What's going to happen to all the pictures of me, my sister, my parents, my grandparents? Do they all get thrown away at that time? It's sad to think about. It really is. But it's something to think about. And not only do I realize that, yes, we have way too much stuff, but it's something to think about. And when you only start thinking deep into what's going to happen to everything I have, like I said, it'll probably be the niece's nephew. They'll probably come in and, I guess, take whatever pictures they want. If someone's into anything, whether they like guitars or cars or hats or anything, they'll take what they want, and that's that. Other than that, it all gets thrown into a dumpster, which alone is depressing. Because when I did that with my mother, I was trying to sell the house. I was on absolutely, even though I had my sister and she offered, we'll leave it at that. But I said, I can take care of it. Thanks, but I'm all set. Nobody else offered, that's for sure. It's a not only the stress of taking care of someone with dementia after they pass away, you got, wow, the weight. One weight is off your shoulders, but it's quickly replaced with another weight in life of, wow. The fastest I get rid of everything. And it's literally, okay, you get a dumpster. You're trying to sell the house. Hopefully you have life insurance coming in, paying the bills, keeping everything up. But you look at each product. Say you look at a hat. Now, I like this. But you look at someone's old clothes. That was the tough thing. You look at someone's old clothes, and a lot of people had said, oh, donate them. Well, not only is it emotional, it's time consuming. You still got to work. You still got to get things ready. You still got to get rid of stuff. You still have every single little thing to go through in a house. What am I going to keep? What am I going to get rid of? So it's like kind of 3 or 4 piles. The pile that's definitely going out in trash. The pile you definitely want to keep. Then you get 2 other piles. I got to have a second look at that and see if I want that pile. This pile, maybe somebody else might want it. It's important, but we'll see. So you get all these piles sitting around. Then you got to try and get a hold of people. And it's just, wow. It's a lot to go through, especially when you're doing it by yourself. And I don't blame anybody, I really don't, because my memories are my memories. Like I said, I have trinkets, mainly pictures, some hard pieces, crafts my mom made, or certain things like old dishes and stuff like that, and whatever was important to us, you hang on to. Then you got to think of, where am I going? What can I fit in my new place? So the big things I kept was my father's grandfather clock that my niece said she wanted, so I'm hanging on to that, and I'm enjoying it until then. Then my mom's curio cabinet with all her, I keep that because it's everything memorabilia, this sweet, serious stuff, the good memories, it's all in there. From dogs to mom, Nana, all that stuff. All the memories go in there. And it's just tough. It's an absolute ongoing thing because this is the 3rd year later. And I've done a lot, but there's still some stuff that I could get rid of. And it's like, plus your own crap. Because you got to remember, someone else comes into your house after you pass, and they're, number 1, money's the most important. Then number 2, as they walk into your house and you're not there, they look around. What's expensive? What can I resell quick? What do I want of a dear old Uncle Phil's? Maybe a couple pictures. They might want the guitar, even though it wasn't that expensive at all. And then the house. Luckily, the house is paid off, so there's some money there. It's tough to think about because like any of the furniture from my mom doesn't mean anything to them unless they really, really have a spot for it. Other than that, everything that I thought was important in my life is garbage to someone else. And it's tragic to say. All my clothes, I remember literally throwing out all my mom's clothes. I just didn't have the time, the extra time. Maybe I didn't put in enough effort. I don't know. What am I going to do with them? I'm not going to wear them. A lot of the stuff my mom liked that my sister didn't want or my nieces didn't want eventually, because we started going through stuff when she went into the nursing home and they knew she wasn't coming out. That's when it's like, okay, invite everybody over the house. It's a matter of time. Now's the time. Come through the house. I'll tell you when I'm keeping. I'm telling you what's available. You tell me what you want. And it was weird because I remember literally being up in the attic in my house, and my mom was up there when she was okay, and all the old crap that she thought my niece's nephew would put, she made me put 3 boxes with their names on it. And any sentimental stuff that she thought they had said they wanted or did want or might like, she had me put in those boxes with their names on them. And wouldn't you know, every single kid, all 3 of them, they looked in the box and said, there's nothing I want. So the different views of from what my mother thought the kids would really want and what they should get, and make sure they get it. When it comes down to it, it was just junk. They didn't want it. Everybody has different values. I don't hold anything against anybody. It's just rough. One thing that surprised me was my niece took, it was a 60s stereo cabinet with the speakers. It was a piece of furniture. It had a record player, cassette, and 8-track all in it. Speakers were velvet, and then the centerpiece, it was, a piece of, or hutch or whatever, and the front piece came up and you could see what was going on. And they got it going again, which is great. I'm so proud of her for that she has a piece of history from her grandmother, my mom. And that's nice. But like I said, you can't fit everything in someone else's house. You don't know where they're going to be. They happen to live in an apartment. Who knows when or if they'll ever have their own house. Who knows? But I just say, wow. I think about everything that I have that's stupid. Because there comes a time, I don't know when it is, 60, 70, 80. When do you look at everything and go, I'm not going to use that. Nobody wants that. Stop throwing it out. Because we all collect way too much crap. When is that time? That's why I ask you. What are you doing today? How nice are you to people? Is there going to be anyone left to be remembered tomorrow? You can try to buy people. You can try to save people stuff. You can try to set things up, wills, trusts, property, cars. Will they still show up? Because in a lot of people's eyes, when you're gone, the only thing that's really attracting them is the money. That's why they're there. And I know a lot of people don't mean to do that, but it is. It's the money. And then you might get some emotion. And what I said before, it's weird. 3 generations after you die, I heard you're totally forgotten. And it's mind-blowing to me to hear that. And as sad as it is, it's just, wow. I remember my mom, probably say a year before she went into the nursing home, she was making copies of pictures. That was what was going through her mind. She knew. She's getting older. She probably knew she was slowing down, forgetting, doing things, doing weird things. So that was her way of coping. She was trying to get pictures for everybody. And nobody wanted them. My sister took a few. Kids didn't want them at all. It's just weird. So the whole point of this is to be something special in someone's life. Not that they'll get your stuff, just to be remembered. Nobody wants to be forgotten in this world. if anything, I would like to, for generations, have my picture on the wall, even if it's with my family. So every once in a while, someone can go, yeah, that was my Uncle Phil. I remember as I was a kid, he'd visit me and blah, 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 and this and that. That, what else can you expect? I don't know. Make this life count. Thanks for watching.